Everybody, welcome to Legacy TV and the Convo podcast. And today, again, the martial arts world has blessed me. I'm so lucky I have been able to bring such amazing guests to my show in such the beginning stages of my podcast. And, you know, I'm a big fan of martial arts, and martial arts saved my life. And I was the one thing I want to say is I was kind of like, if anything, I was a nerd of martial arts. So I'm a big fan of this gentleman that we have here today. He has trained some of the best. He has competed some of the best. And one of the main things that I want to bring to you guys today is I love judo. Judo is one of the most amazing martial arts that has ever been created, and all my coaches and a lot of people that have been on the show have talked about how they started in judo, which led them into a mixed martial arts and the rest of their careers. And they all say the same thing, that judo is one of the best martial arts to start in. So with that being said, I wanted to give this man his due. I am so thankful. I have GOKOR CHIVICHYAN and his son, ARTHUR CHIVICHYAN. Thank you guys for being here today. It's an honor. Thank you. Okay, so let's get right into it. If you don't mind me asking, I know your guys' nationality, but I'm sure some people don't. You guys are Armenian.
Yes.
And you guys, there was a big crowd of Armenian people in Los Angeles, which is where you guys are currently located, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, we're pretty much center of LA, the suburbs. That's where our gyms are. That's where we live. That's where he moved in the '80s. So it's where we reside so far. And majority of Armenians nowadays, outside of Armenia, LA has the biggest diaspora. So
yeah,
that's where we are.
100%. Now, GOKOR, were you born here in America?
No, my son born here, but I come to America 1981 in February. I was here already.
1981 February.
I left Armenia 1980, go to Italy, stay a little while until then after that we come to America with the family.
Do you remember how old you were when you left Armenia?
Yeah, 16 and a half.
16, okay. Before you left Armenia, had you learned English already, any? Or?
No, I didn't know nothing about language.
so you came here with zero English.
Everything was zero. You know,
the people, the friends.
There's no money in my pocket, and there is no English. There is no culture. I didn't know nothing about it.
Wow. But
everything started from 0, and then, thanks God, now we not zero anymore.
Now, let me ask you about your if you don't mind, your upbringing in Armenia, because that's 16 years. You know, you grew up with your mother and father. I assume they were together while you were growing up.
Yes, 100%.
Did you grow up in a strict upbringing? What was life out there like for you? Armenia
life was very, very good. The reason only I left Armenia and I want you to come to America because in Armenia I don't see anything. I'm gonna go anywhere else in a sport. So I come to America in 1979 for the World Cup in the judo, and in Olympic Training Center. Then I win the 66 kilogram.
And then at 16,
I was 16. Yes.
Wow.
And then they gave me an opportunity to teach the national team. Then give me certification for things. And then when I go back to Armenia, I tell my family, I think if I'm going to be in America, I think I have a opportunity to go forward, you know, and I'm not in Armenia. So this is the only reason I left my country.
But pardon me, but that led up to you winning at 16. So you had already been training in martial arts from what age?
Oh yeah, I was a world champion in Sambo for 2 times, and a junior and a national champion, Soviet national champion, European champion in judo when I was a young kid. But everything, it was junior age,
For those that don't know, judo, like just a quick explanation. For those that don't understand, sambo, for example, what is a sambo competition? What is it that you're training and doing?
I'm sure a lot of people already know what sambo is, but the people don't know about the sambo. Sambo is a Russian art, which is Russian creation. It's like a half judo and half wrestling.
Correct.
But it has the submissions and arm bars, and it has a leg locks.
And you're allowed you have a gi on.
You have a half gi on. Half gi will call chuha.
The top, yeah.
Yeah. So it's
almost MMA.
There has a combat one. It's almost MMA, but the sport it's almost like I say, it's half judo and half wrestling. But it's a beautiful sport.
So you grew up doing this already, and you were competing in judo already. So by the age of 16, you were already loving martial arts, and so the opportunity coming to America. Is there somebody that you knew out here that you were going to come and see, or are you just going to come out here and try to find a place?
No, I don't have anybody. I have cousins was here, so they take care of us for a couple months until we find our home and job and stuff like that. But sport-wise, I don't have anybody else. I basically meet Jean LaBelle that time.
Judo Jean LaBelle.
Shout
out to Judo Jean LaBelle.
Yeah, we
another legend.
Very quickly we connect, and he invite me to his place, explain who I am and everything, because he knows me already.
Wow.
Then he gave me all his guys to compete with me. So I sat in line at 30 people and beat them up one by one. And then
hold on a second. So he wanted to see how good you were.
Yeah, he knows how good I am, and he told his students, and they're all black belts, and some of them are wrestlers, some of them are judo, some of them are catch wrestlers. But they line up everybody, and I said compete, and then I end up. I say anybody tap, it's out. So I end up go all 30 people and tap him out. And then everybody was actually tired. I was just getting warm up, and I say I can go another line.
Wow.
But I was in a good shape.
It sounds like it. Yeah. When you were doing martial arts growing up, was there like anything else you did outside of the martial arts? Were you lifting weights or doing any kind of cardio otherwise?
Well, in Armenia, when I was in Armenia, the training was very hard. We would train every day and train every day, sometimes 2 times a day, depends. And you have to do the weights, you have to do running a lot, and you have to do technical, you have to do physical, and you have to spar a lot. Like I say, I didn't train only judo. I started with the wrestling, and then I did the sambo, and judo. I kind of mix up training every day, one sport to another. Then before I come to America, I also take boxing approximately 4.5 years. I was a national champion of boxing too.
Wow. So you were already a mixed martial artist is what they would call you today?
That's what happened when I come to America. Basically, I started making money. But my first job was a fight. Started making money, $50, $100, $500. It goes up and up and up. Then I make money a couple of years. I bought a house.
First thing
he was the Fight Club before the Fight Club movie even came out. He was doing underground fights for money, pretty much. Where they, how you see in the movies where they gamble and all that kind of stuff, bare knuckle in your underwear or whatever. That's what he was doing. Basically.
Yeah, we don't have no rules, nothing, no gloves, just bare hands.
So at the time with Judo Jean LaBelle and all that, your time of fighting, can you name some of the names that were around that were, legends of a sport that...
I have to be honest with you. The time when I was fighting, there is no such things and names. Or
there was none of the Gracies or any of
no Gracies at all at that time. Okay. And then they start coming up. Some Brazilian guys was there. We don't know anything about Gracie or anybody else that time, but I know there is a Brazilian guys that compete with me.
Yeah,
and we don't even know what is jiu-jitsu. And they say, well, those guys are kind of wrestlers and stuff like that. But then after we start know jiu-jitsu, and then we thought maybe it was not the wrestling, it was the jiu-jitsu.
What was your introduction into jiu-jitsu? Because I know you also are, I believe you're also a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yes, I'm a 4th degree black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, I am as well.
Yes, but, yes, I think I'm getting my 5 next month.
Oh, congratulations!
And then, but the reason why I have 5 because 25 years ago they offered me to give me my black belt, but I didn't take it because I told them is I'm not a jiu-jitsu guy to take a black belt.
Right.
And then, but if I take it that time, I will be maybe I don't know where.
Yeah.
But the lately a lot of jiu-jitsu guys start training with me, a lot of black belt guys and world champions, stuff like that. So they offer me to to become a black belt and then start going to the 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd. When I got 4th degree, and then I go to IBJJF, and I tell them I'm 4th degree, they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't recognize that." So they have to start from all over, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't bothers me.
Yeah, my coach has had the same issue with IBJJF, and I don't take any of my students there, and I don't like the way they run their their tournaments. I don't like the amount of money they take from people, and I'm a black belt. I gotta register and pay you even if I'm not competing, and like all it is money. They want money from everybody.
Yeah, for them, because I start late, I'm the 2nd degree, and normally I'm the 4th degree, which is getting 5 next month. And for me, the belt colors are not very important. The 5, 6. For me, as long as you black belt, you fight in the black belt division, and that's it. The rest of the 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd, it doesn't very important for me. It's most important for me. So I can promote my student black belt and I can allow to do that. So that's why they say, oh, you have to be 2nd or 3rd degree to do that.
Yes.
So that's the only things that are important for me. The rest, I don't care.
Correct. I agree with you. And I said this recently. When I got my 4th degree, all my students asked me, "Oh, how do you feel about getting your 4th degree?" Like I told them, you know what? To be honest with you, it's more rewarding for me when I get to promote you guys and see you guys be successful and become better people. Like
100%.
The degrees on my belts is okay. I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life, so that doesn't matter and I'm sure you feel the same way.
My son, it's a 3rd degree black belt in judo, and he's gonna get his 4th very soon. And he was 6-7 years one of the number 1 in the whole United States, and he was beating up everything, and his weight division 100 kilogram, simply he won the best before he goes to the university, because they give him a opportunity to go Olympic and everything. He can when you talk to him,
he can throw you across the room is what you can do.
As big as he is, as strong as he is,
I can see it.
He can kill everybody.
I don't doubt it, brother, at all. Especially trained by you. But he wasn't born yet. Let's take it back. So you started training at Jean LaBelle's. You're starting to fight, and then at what point do you stop competing and you have a child? Do you have a child first, or do you start teaching first?
No, when I come to America, because I was not American citizen, but I was number 1 player in Soviet Union.
Yes.
So I was younger, but I was competing adult competition, and I'm very good on the adult competition. Even I have a best 5 in the Soviet Union at that time, and I have a chance even to go to Olympic.
Yeah.
But then when I did the trial, then everybody's a lot older than me. Then I lost one of the guys, called Cabarelli. It's from Georgia, so I lost him at one point, and then he went to the Olympic and he took the gold. And that's not the first gold. He took two Olympic gold medals and I think 2 or 3 world championship. He was very experienced, but me and him, we was choosing him or me to go. I was a young boy and he was 27 or something that time.
Yeah.
Of course, definitely he's Olympic champion, and he beat me in 1 point, and that was not a big point, but he went to Olympic, he took the gold, and then I lost that part, but I know already I'm going to lose that part. To come to America, 84, I tried to to participate in Olympic. I went to back and forth, and I come a number one again. Then I'm coming to Los Angeles, the Olympic, but the boy cup. So I couldn't do it anything because it's a boy cup. And then I decided to, okay, then I do it 2088 in Korea. So then I would go back and forth again. Then America tell me, hey, if you stay in America, we give you a citizenship and you can compete Olympic from United States. I said, of course, I would love to do that. And if that's possible, he said, yes, we can give you a citizenship and you can become an American citizen, then you can participate there. Wow. Because I was in Spain in the World Cup and I win and just come back from there. And they say, wow, you know, this guy's ready to go. So anyway, time comes up. I agree. So I didn't go back and forth back to Soviet at time. It was still Soviet Union. And then I decided to stay in America. And then they has the rules. And they sent me a court because everybody have to be appointed to competition, get the point. So I don't have enough point because I get very late citizenship. So the people who has a lot of points, they sue me.
Damn.
And then they win the case and they go to Olympic and I couldn't go again.
Oh.
So, you know, those kind of stuff happens.
Politics.
Yeah, it's sports politics. Still see it to this day. But, you know, in '84, the Soviet Union boycotted the Los Angeles Olympics. And then in '88, his issue was in a sense, the problem was him receiving this visa late. Even though he was the best one in the U.S. by a far margin, they eventually had to choose someone else to go because of not only the politics, but also because of the citizenship issues and the point issues and stuff.
Were you pissed off?
Well, it bothers me. But, you know, I was not only thinking about the judo, I was also doing shuto in Japan. And I was making money and I was happy. You know, I bought a house for my parents.
Yeah.
It's a 3-unit house. All my brothers, all my parents. Well, at that time I was not married, so my family have home. So instead of living a rental, then we will have our own house. So I able to do that for my family at that time and was make me happy. And then I have a good job. I have the jewelry store and jewelry manufacturing. And, you know, age 20, 21, I was a successful kid, you know, and I was working very hard, making a lot of money. Only things I didn't save too much. I saved some, but I didn't save too much. I was enjoying with my friends and everything. I never I was thinking, but not enough thinking for future, you know?
Yeah.
And that time, everything is cheap. Houses cheap. Real estate is cheap. So all the money I spend it for fun. I can buy real estate. At that time, I didn't know it. Nobody there to tell me what to do.
When you're young, I think I think a lot of us, I've had money and you just kind of spend it.
Yeah, but I'm not sad with that. I have a good life.
You
and
enjoy
a good
it. Enjoy
I enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's okay. And money.
It's not like I don't have anything now. I have everything I wanted. I wish.
And you have one life. It's all about the experiences, and you enjoyed yourself. You know, and that was what was important.
Yeah. You know, my son recently, like 3 years ago, married already. Yeah, almost 3 years ago. Now he has his own house. He has his own ADU rental. He stay for no payments and everything. So that's one thing. So we should he do it. He does hard work, working his own studio. He has the new one. We opened at another Hayastan MMA Academy, Northridge,
yeah.
And then he's working all day, and then he's teaching at USC University. Plus, he has his own. He will talk about. He has his own one as an elite team, and he's working with the younger guys and stuff like that. He will explain exactly what he's doing.
You know what I want to do too is like I want to get to him, and I want to switch seats because the microphone seems to be yeah. But you know, for now, like we're gonna be able to edit that anyway. Yeah. But like I want to make sure, like, so
let's finish with me, and then he can sit my place.
Exactly.
The track he took was basically what he's trying to say is he
keep the mic kind of close to you.
He wanted to like basically what he was trying to say right now is was trying to say that he wanted to set up success for his kids.
Yes.
In this case, for me and my younger brother, who's a professional basketball player. So that was his goal. So he kind of learned since he went his 20s, like what's important. Even though, like he said, he didn't save up and whatnot, but he made sure that when we were growing up, we do it the right way, and we saved and we did the things the right way so that we could be even more successful.
So yeah, so he took his experiences and mistakes that he made, and he instilled the values of understanding to his children.
Just like life lessons, pretty much.
Exactly. That's why a father figure is so important.
You know, for us being Armenian, it's a little bit different mentality we have. I don't want to say other people have wrong, but everybody have culture.
Yes.
The culture we have, when we get married, we are very responsible to our kids. You know, like when they're born, we don't tell them, and when they're 16, they say, okay, bye, go get yourself, go find a house, go find a job, go take care of yourself. We don't do that.
No.
Because I don't see that is correct, because too many people, too many homelesses, what happens, you send your kids 16, 17, 18 out just for you feel comfortable. It's not a things because your kids go having a hard time to find a job, having a hard time to make money, having a hard time to go school, to finish the school. And some of them get successful, most of them they don't. And what they end up in a homeless, drugs, all kind of stuff. See, in Armenia, we don't have that culture. We have culture, your son or daughter stay with you until get married. They get married, then now if you have opportunity to buy a house or help them, whatever you can, you do. If you don't have that opportunity, then you don't have it. But at least you with them until to the end. You know, that's the way it is. We don't let them go. Even Arthur is living in his own house and everything. I still over there. You know, if he needs help, I'm there in 1 second.
Yes, the Middle Eastern families, I think, like in general, there's that really tight bond with with the family.
We are warm people.
Yes,
we are not cold. We hug each other, we kiss each other. We help each other. We do whatever the best we can do for family. For me, my family, it's like how much we love God, and that's why we love our family.
I was an only child, and my dad has 3 sisters and 2 brothers, and my mom had 2 brothers and a sister as well. So all my grandparents, so all of them were in the household. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
In America, it's a little different in Armenia. We have an opportunity. We get places separately and everything. It's always good to live separate. So living all together, only time when you don't have an opportunity to buy another house or rent another house.
Yeah,
I understand. There's nothing wrong with there, but thanks God we have that opportunity. They can go have house, and even my other son can have his own house. We have our house, and we have houses that we rent her out. So this is all my hard work from the beginning to come to America until today. Yes, I have to be thankful unto God.
Thank God. Yeah, you did amazing. So take me back now. So you're at the jewelry store, and when do you become the teacher? When do you start training fighters?
The teacher started when I was not too long ago in 80s. What happens? I see some Armenians they do not a good things. Some of those kids they're having fights on the street and stuff like that. So I didn't like it. So what I start doing, so I was in Los Angeles City College. I was going to college, and then they have the school over there inside the college. So they have mats and everything. So I start collecting all these guys from street and take them over there. 2 guys don't like each other. They want to beat each other up for any reason. I put them in the gloves, and I say, okay, close the door. I said, beat each other. So they fight 1 minute, 2 minutes, and they're tired. I said, come on, let's do it. So long story short, so I collected 40 of those guys.
40?
2 years, no payment, no money, nothing.
Wow.
I teach them to get the very high level. But the problem is then start getting more and more. Other people start coming, and the LACC college tell me, no more, you cannot bring any more. It's a lot of people already. 1991, I opened up my own place first time, and we already have 200 students when we opened it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
Talk about a head start.
yeah, and then started from there. And
200 students at the time, because I want to get into some of the very amazing fighters that you've trained.
Well, even before that, even the UFC when they started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the first one to sign up to compete, but some people don't want me to compete. They say wait for little pass and everything. So anyway, then all the UFC fighters, they come start training. 90% that was training with me,
Wow.
every one of them. There was Art David at that time. I don't know
Art
if you
David,
remember
yeah.
Art.
Yeah.
He come to my dojo begging me to compete, but other people begging me not to compete. And then after that, everybody comes to train with me. And, I didn't want to go and fight someone I train,
Yeah.
I was making money. All these guys, most of the striker come and learn in the grappling.
Wow.
Because it's up and down. You know what happens? First of all the grapplers start beating the strikers. Then strikers start learning the grappling. They start beating the grappler. Then what happened? The grapplers, they start learning striking to come even. This is what the UFC today,
So you were already teaching a lot of the UFC fighters and stuff.
Oh yeah, I was ready. I don't know if I'm a good teacher or not, but one thing, the best part
You're being humble now, but yeah.
Well, the best part I look in this way. If your student's successful, then you're a good teacher.
Yes.
If you're teacher but you have no successful student, then you are not a good teacher.
Yes.
So that's I give over 26 fighters in UFC.
Yes.
The best schools I know, they don't even give more than 2.
I remember in my early days of watching UFCs when I first started hearing about you, like more, and got to know a little bit about you, and was with one of your students by the name of Karo Parisyan.
Yes.
And he was like one of my favorite fighters to watch at the time, because I remember seeing, lots of takedowns and stuff, but throws, like the way he would just throw people through the air, and the way, Joe Rogan, you guys know the way Joe Rogan used to talk about the way Karo used to throw. So that's kind of where I started hearing about you. Did Karo start with you from a very early age?
Karo started when he was a baby, 9 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he started in judo with you?
Yeah. Well, this is let me explain it to you so this way the people understand.
Yes,
it.
Please.
Yes, we're doing judo, but our grappling, it's a nogi judo. It's a lot of wrestling, and 50% that basically it's also mixed with the catch wrestling.
Yes.
But it's 50% my creation. So then that's why we don't say only judo, sambo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling. We don't say that. We say Hayastan system. The reason why the Hayastan system, because we don't want to explain everybody, hey, our system have jiu-jitsu, our system have a grappling, our system have judo, sambo, we have everything, because whatever I train in my life and I put it together, and I make the grappling, the Hayastan system. And this is why Karo end up in UFC and throwing everybody. The judo Olympic champion come and they could do nothing.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're not doing a Hayastan system. They doing basically judo. And the only judo, it's very good art, but you are too much used to the uniform. So in our system, in our academy, we do all that techniques, whatever you see in a judo, without the gi. So this is what you need in your life to become a fighter. Ronda Rousey, Karo Parisyan, Manny Gamburyan, the rest
I was
of
just
the
going to bring him up. They're cousins, correct, Manny?
yes,
Gamburyan?
yes, they cousins.
And he also started with you as a kid.
Yes, yes.
And so, and you made these guys like I remember watching Manny fight. Manny and Karo were two I loved to watch him fight. I always supported them, and I remember that how much they used to talk about you and how much you were a big part of it. Ronda, let me ask you as far as just before we get to Ronda, Karo and Manny Gamburyan, they had amazing mixed martial arts careers, and they started with you from kids. And like one of the things that I feel like your role to them was probably not just a instructor to them, but you were also probably like a father figure to them.
I tell you honestly, every student I have has always been a family for me.
Yeah,
and I never look at any other way. Karo, Manny, I'm telling you something. Karo was one of the best fighter there, and Manny same way. But let me tell you something. 17, 18 years, we are number one in judo in the whole United States. And only Karo and Manny interested to go to MMA. But I have other students, if they go to MMA, they're going to be another Karo and another Karo, another Manny over there. Because if that time you come and see that my dojo from beginning to the end is all black belts. National team, American national team comes and train my academy to get good to go to Europe.
So amazing, just amazing. And then let's talk about, because you did bring her up. Were you did you also train Ronda Rousey's mother?
Well, I not really been her coach, but Ronda moms and me, we've been training in the national team together.
Right.
And I know she was preparing her world championship, so I was helping. If this is the right word to say, helping, I was training with her a lot. So she get to go to get championship, but we all train together. We're very good friends.
Very good friends. And
when Ronda mom, it always tell me if I have a daughter or a boy, definitely they come and train with you. And because and then when the Ronda born, and then she was a younger training with one of my very good friend that trained with the national team. And then when she comes at 10, 11, then her mom brought it to my academy. Since then, she started training with us. She started training judo, and she started training the grappling, which is the Hayastan system.
Yes.
When she gets so good with her techniques without the gi.
Right.
A lot of people think as a judo make her become a UFC champion.
At that time, I knew it was much more than judo. You got the system, and
so this way she come with no gi judo, then our system, our grappling system, and then she come and she's a very good judo player. She's a world champion, Olympic medalist.
Amazing.
And she adapted very quick all that and trained with all the crazy guys there.
Yes.
And every one of them very, very strong. Like I say, it's not only Karo and Manny was there.
Many people.
There is maybe, I'm not kidding this, over 25 better than and stronger the guys over there. And she end up all these animals are there. Yeah. Beating her up and everything.
She was an animal, and respect.
She come animal,
and respect to her. And even though like sometimes she gets some flack, she was the reason that there is women involved in mixed martial arts, and she should always get her respect. And she was, when she was at the top of her game and in her prime, there was nothing better than watching a Ronda Rousey fight. The way she used to throw people and finish them, it was beautiful.
Well, she was very strong. She's always been a strong girl, and not too much. If I give everything to her, no, she's talented.
Yes. So
we teach 1, she get 2. We teach 5, she get 10. So she always talented, and she was very a competitor. When even she fight me, I throw her very strong, and she get up and red eyes and want to attack you, to beat you up.
Yeah.
So it's like she was always like that, and I know she's gonna be the number one, whatever she do. Doesn't matter, judo or MMA.
She's done it all.
Yeah, her mom asked me for her to do MMA, and I want her to go compete another Olympic, because I know she can win gold. Because the last one, she took third place. She did a mistake, and this is the reason why she got third. And I know she can go gold, but she decided to do MMA, and that's why we put her in MMA. I bring her manager and everything. I make everything is possible for her, and she started beating up everybody until the point when she going out of my school, being someone else student. Then she thought she's a striker now. She forgot about all of what she learned from us, from her past.
Unfortunately.
And then she become a striker, then her strike is not enough her for the win. Then she lost by knockout and everything. So
that's the way it goes.
I feel very sad for that.
Yeah, of course. Another student I wanted to ask you about of yours that was also very popular, if I'm not mistaken, was also Neil Melanson.
Neil, yes, he come and train with us. Very strong guy, and he trained with us a couple of years. He wants to be good, and time, and my guys are trained with him. He learned a lot from us, and then 3 years, I think, a little more or less, and then I think he was a blue belt or purple belt, something like that. He left our school with Karo, and then Karo gave him a black belt, but he didn't. He wants to get a black belt from me for be 100% feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Not too far ago, like a year and a half ago, I gave him a black belt in my seminar when I did. One of my students has a school in Vegas.
Yeah.
His name is also GOKOR. Very good teacher, and he comes and train with GOKOR, and then when I give a seminar, he was there, so I give him a black belt. Now this is official,
Yeah, it's official.
Very nice guy.
Yeah, he does a lot of technique. What do you think about before we get to ask some questions of Arthur as well? What do you think about the amount of information these days that's available on the internet? Because that's why I was speaking of Neil. Neil is online a lot, and he's showing technique a lot. And like I remember when I first started training, even though at then there was still some available, but nowadays there's technique everywhere. Do you think that that's a good thing for martial arts?
Well, something like that. I don't know too much about it. My son knows about a lot, and today days, I'm old school.
Yeah.
When I started, there is no internet, there is no TV, there is no camera, there is nothing.
Right.
But you make name, you go on a mat and beat the hell out of someone, and people say, "Wow, that's the guy."
That's the guy.
So that's the way I make name, and people know me, and I competed a lot. I compete a lot of grappling competition. I compete MMA, which is there is no MMA, no holds bar, and Shudo, and then I compete a lot of judo and a lot of stuff. The first time when I competed Jiu-jitsu, it was 2019, and everybody telling me I win Sambo World, I win Judo World, I win MMA World, and then also a Sambo World. Then now, number 5 is the Jiu-Jitsu world.
Wow.
And then they said, can you handle the Jiu-Jitsu world? And because I think the people in black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, I think they will smash you because they started Jiu-Jitsu when they was a kid. They know all the way to how to win. So they make me feel to do something after 20 almost 20 years I didn't compete. So, and I said, well, you know what? Why not? I'll do it. And then, not because of I want to show people I am better than them or anything like that. I never have that type of character. But, I know I have talent. I can do it. I know jiu-jitsu guys cannot come to fight judo because it's only less than a minute they can lose.
Right.
Judo, it's not easy. The jiu-jitsu guy can't fight judo, but judo guy can fight jiu-jitsu if the ground is good.
Yeah.
So I said, well, my ground is very good. I'm doing a very good grappling. So all we have to, and I'm not weak
so
in
humble
a
when he
uniform.
says, my ground is very good. He's probably one of the best ground fighters in the world.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt, especially for as long as you've been involved. I can already tell.
Yeah, a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys comes to my school training. They're preparing for the competition. One of the guy called me. It's Rodrigo Antunes, many-time world champion. His gi is awesome. No gi, he wants to get more better. Train with me. Anyway, he come like a part of the family to us. Right now, he's in Colorado. He's a great coach, and if people are living in Colorado, should go find him there. He's a great coach. He can make everybody champion over there. Anyway, so Rodrigo come and tell me, Gokor, you entered the jiu-jitsu, everybody's surprised. You enter it, everybody scared too. But he said, look, I tell you something because I love you. You're like a family to me, because he speaks Brazilian. And he said, if you do anything mistakes, small something, they will kick you out. So this way, then if they cannot beat you, they can find something to make you lose, disqualify you. He said, when you fight, just be very simple,
Basics,
nothing special. Don't even submit people. Just pass it, hold it, sit there, do nothing.
Yeah.
He said, so don't give them any opportunity to they can find something, because when I fight in jiu-jitsu, because I'm losing my 50% on my techniques, because they don't allow to do like heel hooks, and they don't allow me do a lot of submissions I do. They don't allow that there.
Yeah.
But I understand that,
What up, everybody? Want to take a quick second out of the podcast just to give a shout out to our sponsor, the best criminal defense attorney I know. The last time I got in trouble, I needed somebody that was going to look into my case and actually fight for me and get me the best deal possible, and he did that. And I'll make sure that he does that for you. Make sure you shout me out if you guys reach out to him. They're the sponsor of the Convo. You know anybody, a family member or yourself that make a mistake, you want somebody like him on your side. Arash, please let everybody know how they can get a hold of you.
Thank you. Arash Hashemi, 310-448-1529, or hashemilaw.com, HASHEMILAW.com, or just Google hashtag BetterCallHash. Remember that, BetterCallHash. You'll find me on every social media channel all over the internet. 310-448-1529.
You better call Hash.
what I can do, what I cannot do. But even I know what I can do, that still I didn't did it, because I just want to go so simple. So I won 4 world championship, 2 no gi and 2 with the gi.
Unbelievable.
I play with a super fight with a guy from Brazil, and he was a 9-time world champion. Very famous guy, and then we were super fight, and I beat him too. So now we got my 5th world championship. So now I have 5 different sport, 5 world championship. I don't think so anybody in the world have that.
Legend.
Yeah, and then, people think I have a lot of story. I teach a lot of people. I teach a lot of UFC fighters. They call me legend, and I don't call myself. Other people call me, so
That's what matters. That's what other people, that's the legacy that you leave behind, is what other people call you. And that for sure, brother, whether you know it or not, you are a legend in the sport of mixed martial arts, and one of the originators, one of the best ones to do it.
When I started, nobody was there.
It's all good.
I can tell you, I was the number one to get up in the year.
This is why it was so important to have you come today, because this is what I want to highlight, because what people are watching today, what is bringing so many people enjoyment in their lives is this new sport, which is mixed martial arts, which is something you've been doing and helped so many people to get good at, and which is the reason the sport evolved in the first place. So respect and thank you for your contribution. And a couple more questions for you. I know you're still teaching to this day.
I teach.
What do you believe is the most important thing that you are giving to your students as far as being a coach in martial arts?
I'm gonna be very honest with you. I stopped teaching MMA.
Yep.
Because it wastes my time.
Yep.
Until today, I teach a lot of people, and a lot of people being very successful. I spend a lot of my time. My son Arthur was very young, and he started when he was 4. He actually comes running left and right coming and running left and right in the mat when he was 4. Do you imagine 4 years old and he already been on the mat? The time when I put my time for my student, and I end up my student, when they get so high and so high level, they didn't represent me too much. They always trying to represent their own self, and they trying to be the hero. And some of them, they say, well, I'm born like this, stuff like that. So I understand that everybody want to be the man he's on. But look, you have to come from somewhere, yes?
Yes.
I give my teachers very much recognize, like teacher in Armenia, I always talk about it. Teacher here in Lebel, I always talk about it. You go to my academy, his pictures is all over.
Yes.
I respect whatever did. Even I come to this country, I was a world champion already. But even Jean Lebel give me a little bit and something to help me. I appreciate. I have his pictures there everywhere. But I didn't get that from some of the students I teach, and I put them higher level. I didn't feel bad. It's okay. I still love them. They're still in my heart, as a part of the family. But I thought about if I have to do this whole my life, not make money out of it, and put a lot of my time over there. So I don't see any reason, Now people call me from Russia, from everywhere. I'm a world class. I'm a world champion. I'm a this. I'm that. I said no. Go to. I have students. I send it to different places.
Yeah.
I said go train over there.
Yeah, I understand.
But, if you want to come and do grappling with us, welcome.
Yes.
Then I can help you. If you have a fight, I can come and corner you. I can help you a little bit, but I'm not going to put all my life, all my times to you.
To mixed martial
to promise to you come at this, you come at that. Only I can help you whenever you need my help. I cannot put my time.
100%.
Right now we have a lot of guys that are competing. My son is helping them, and also Robert, David Roberts, helping them. And we have in Arthur's Academy, we have Daniel Safarian, and he's a UFC fighter.
Oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah,
he's doing a MMA teaching, grappling.
Yeah.
We have over there. We have a Thai boxing world champion,
Brian Del Rosario.
Yeah,
Brian Del Rosario.
Yes, and then they have a good team for striking, and I always send that to them. Yeah. I say, go and train with them, most of the strike and everything. Come to the grappling, come to my group class, I help you. But I'm not going to open a special hour for you alone to come to help you, because I don't have time again.
Right.
I don't trust it anymore.
I understand it, and it makes sense. So thank you for sharing your story. Arthur, I want to get you on in a second, so just so we can speak a little bit as well. Sorry about the microphone. I don't know, but Gokor, like, before, one more question. I know you talked about the fighters, but one of the things that I want to bring up, before we finish with you, is martial arts, and in my life was very, very crucial. It was the most important thing that happened to me. It changed my life. I won't even say I was a man yet till I met my coach. Yeah. If it wasn't for my master, my second dad, the way I look at him, I don't know what would have happened to me. And I believe that the value of people like you, people like my coach, Even I'm getting there, and I starting to see that's my role from it is my role and for my future. Can you just before we finish with you, like what is your most what is it that you most value about being a coach? Forget the fighting, because I know that's one aspect, and there's lots of people that want to compete. But I know what how important martial arts for me is. What is your thoughts of what martial arts can do for a human being?
Well, I tell you, I can tell you from me. I started martial art when I was 5. And I'm 60. I'm gonna be 61 a couple of days. My birthday's coming, and in 3 days. So
Happy early birthday!
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. And 56 years I'm inside the martial art.
Wow.
This is a big time. Yes, I look myself in the mirror. I cannot even believe I'm getting 61. But the good part is, until today, I'm competing with my guys, rolling with them. And I'm preparing another competition this year. On August, I'm fighting the World Championship in Jiu-jitsu. November, I'm fighting the World Championship in Judo. And December, I'm fighting World Championship in grappling. And if before that, if I can fight some other ones, I don't know yet. But these 3 for sure I'm competing. And everybody thinks I'm crazy. Hey, Gokor, do you have a big name? Don't do that. I said, look, if I have a big man, it doesn't matter. Some people has a big day, they're scared to grapple with someone. I don't scare. I know I'm good, and I know I'm in a good shape, and this is gonna make me even better shape. Because if I know I'm gonna compete, I look my weight, I know what to eat, I train harder, I take care of my health. Now, this is the question you have, and the martial art. It gives a lot of important things to the kids, like what they give it to me, because like I say, I start 5. It give me everything, it give me strength. I'm stronger. I'm healthier. I'm 61 years old. I don't feel it. I'm feeling like I'm 30. And I'm looking, my friends are my age. They look like old people.
Yeah.
They can even go to the stairs. They go the half stairs. They go, I'm running that stairs up and back, forward, and I feel good. This is what the martial art gives a lot of confidence for yourself and being humble. That's number one, because some people have a big mouth, but this is the way I see the real athlete. It's here, very humble. The person doesn't know nothing about it, has a big mouth, it's here.
Yeah.
So they never go up because they have a big mouth. They have an ego. So if you don't have an ego and you're on a big mouth, you want to learn, you go high. Some students are high. I tell them all the time, I say, learn as much as possible being humble.
Yes.
And you believe it or not, my studio, we don't have a bad person. You know what? If the bad person come and second day leaves right away, because people start feeling that guy is not a good, and they scare, because my students once they feel you are a bad boy, they come against you, and then you're scared because they can beat you up. Yeah. And they leave right away. Yeah. So we have a little over 500 students.
Amazing.
And my place and Arthur's place now, 300 students. And we have 110 affiliation schools all over the world.
Amazing.
This is what I go and teach, seminars and everything everywhere in the world. And they're running my competition in Armenia every year, GOKOR CHIVICHYAN World International. So it's coming more successful. So what happened? All these kids come out of the street, go to training. Instead of smoking or drinking or anything, they focus on sport. If they love the sport, they're training hard for competition. See, they have respect to their parents, respect to the friends.
Yes.
They come out, they don't do anything bad, because if they're gonna look a fight outside, they can come and fight inside legally.
Yes.
So I don't know, too many things. My son will
Beautiful.
explain a lot more stuff.
No, perfect. Thank you. That's it. That's more than enough that they need to know that it helps a person. It helps in more than one way, and it can work in many ways.
The kids come in at 5 years old, training. 3 months later, the father and mom comes and said, "It's amazing.
It's changed.
He looks like a man now."
Beautiful.
And then plus he comes home. Before he throw one shoe at one side and another shoe the other side. Now put the shoe together, nice in there, very nice. He learns because this is what we
discipline
to do it. You know, this is billion things you can say. Martial art is the best things to people train, and they're gonna become a good man. You know.
Thank you so much for that. That was amazing, Arthur. Let's have you guys switch.
Yeah, let's switch.
I mean, no, you can switch just completely. Yeah, just you can put that mic down. Yeah, you can
give this to him.
Yeah, and then you can just switch spots with him. I mean, that was beautiful. You know, I mean, like this is one of the things that I've been saying to on the show a lot is that the amount of beautiful things that martial arts can do for a human being, and the amount of changes and one of them competing for sure, and then the other one, of course, would be all the fitness aspects and getting older. And that's the last thing I wanted to touch on. What he was saying for a lot of you is that I look at my coach. My coach has just received his red belt. Shout out to Master Joe Moreira on his red belt. He's 65, and when I look at him, it's like he's amazing. He's working out every day. He's lifting weights, and then I see some other people his age, and they're bent over. Like he said, they can't walk up the stairs. It's like, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy, like how he knows that, and I respect that so much. And I want to model myself after these type of martial artists, because every one of them that train like your father, look at them. They can do it all. They're not going to need us to carry them, because they carried themselves and they took care of themselves.
Yeah, like you said, he's 61, but he goes against a lot of the UFC pros that come by and train before they head over to Vegas or whatnot. Or
when he pulled up, I was like, I could the structure. What I'm saying?
I always tell when people meet him the first time, I'm like you can't miss him. He walks like a Neanderthal. It's kind of like hunch.
When someone trains, you can sense, especially if you train, you can 100% sense it. So tell me, Arthur, like growing up with your pops, we've gone a long time, but I also want to get a little bit of stuff from you. Like growing up with your pops, what was it like, man? Like you were on the mats immediately. Did you love it?
Yeah, I feel like the minute I was able to walk, I was on the mats pretty much. I was born in 90, so he opened his school in 91, so it was fairly early on. Like I said, the minute I was able to get on the mats, I started training when I was 4 years old, pretty much. It'll be 30 years now of me training, and actually his birthday is on the 10th, mine's on the 16th, so
pretty close by.
Taurus pride.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I mean, I've been training since ever since that day. And
can you speak to this, growing up with a father like yours and growing up doing martial arts? I'm sure you were a good kid. I'm sure you stayed out of trouble. Do you think martial arts had a big deal do with you, keeping you in a good environment for those? Because I always tell people, like, growing up, if you put your child in martial arts and he really dedicated and goes to martial arts, it's going to keep him away from a lot of...
Absolutely. See, I tell people I have it pretty much educated almost at the highest level. I got my master's from Pepperdine. I got into a PhD program at USC. I'm a firm believer in education, but the education that I believe the most is martial arts. Yeah. I think martial arts teaches you a lot more than any school would. Martial arts would teach you a lot more than any other sports would. Martial arts, in fact, I think teaches you more than music. Sometimes I get in arguments with my friends who did music when they were kids or dance and things like that. I said it's different. Martial arts just kind of,
makes you a man.
It turns you into a man. It teaches you discipline, the high self-esteem, confidence. Ever since I was growing up, when I got into martial arts, I knew no one was going to mess with me. So I know a lot of parents nowadays, they bring in their kids, they're being bullied and all this kind of stuff. When you're doing martial arts as a kid, even as a kid, you obtain this certain aura. It's not ego, it's not cockiness, it's
confidence.
A certain type of confidence where no one really messes with you.
Yes.
That naturally just makes you think, it kind of builds you up a little bit.
Can I speak on that?
Yeah.
A lot of bullies can feel fear.
Oh yeah.
I know from especially growing up in the environment that I did, and things that I went through. I've been in jail and stuff like that. Before I got into training consistently every day. I got to see that there's a lot of bullies out there, and they prey on the weak. They prey on the weak. They look, and I hated bullies that's who I used to want to fight at school, were the people that were the bullies. So that's full circle. Exactly what you're saying is like it. Just training can make you feel so like you're not intimidated when you're around someone that you would be normally if you didn't have that training.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny you say that because he actually didn't end up graduating high school because he was the bully beater. People would come to him and be like, hey, these people are picking on me. And at the time, when they came here from the Soviet Union, a lot of kids from the Soviet Union in general, they were getting in trouble or they're being bullied. So who would have called on besides Gokor to get their asses kicked at Hollywood high school? So, it really is, man. I mean, martial arts for me, you asked my dad the question about like, what does it teach? What do you feel as a coach? What's most important? In my opinion, there's nothing more important in this world outside of family and all that kind of stuff than learning martial arts. And I know that might be argued upon by some people and might think, oh, that's a little, how should I say? Critical to say in a sense, but it builds so much character.
100%.
Like my dad said, humility.
It changes your whole environment as well.
Yep.
Because I remember the crowd of people that I used to want to be. I was a single child. I was looking for that environment, those friends, and it just so happened the area that I was in, all the friends were doing things that they weren't supposed to be doing. So when I finally found martial arts and MMA and jiu-jitsu and all this, I was around people that weren't going to get me in trouble anymore. They were going to protect me. They were going to tell me the right things. My coach put his arm around me. I'm going to teach you how to be a man. Like, this is where you belong. You don't belong out there. And that's like what the most important thing I think that martial arts, it gives you a family. It gives you a family of not just people that are going to get you into trouble, people that are going to be there for you, people that will look out for you and only guide you in the right direction.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you hit it right on the dot. It really is a family.
Yeah.
Some of our kids' best friends are kids that they trained with their whole life. Not kids that they went to school with, but kids that they, sweat and tears and blood and all that kinds of stuff.
100%.
I almost, sometimes I use a slang term in a sense. I say it's a legal gang almost. It's like you got a family that's behind your back. Everyone's there to root for you. They're your biggest support system. They're there when when you're feeling great. They're there when you're not feeling well. Your coach is like a second father figure. I care about my coaches. I got a couple of videos on my Instagram where it shows like my true passion when my kids win, so, and I think being a coach, honestly, is one of the most underappreciated jobs in this world. And I know my dad touched up on it, but sometimes it's not even as deep, but sometimes, people don't realize just how important a coach is for kids, not just morally in terms of them being good fighters on the mat, but being people who, just excel in life generally as human beings. So
you nailed it, brother. You nailed it. How important it is, because, like I said, for me, it was everything.
Yeah.
If I didn't have that mentor and that coach, like I would, and I told my coach, I said, I'm just probably one little small speckle of the amount of people that you've done this for. And it's probably the same thing with your dad and what you guys are doing in your guys' gym. We don't even realize like how many people you're affecting and how many people you're helping and touching, because it might be something small that you say that can change this kid's life forever.
Absolutely. I mean, there's thousands of kids that have been influenced by my dad in a positive way, over 1,000.
It's amazing.
It's not only about his students, but about his students too. That makes sense, because now a lot of his affiliate coaches like Karan Darabedian at KDMMA, for example, he's put a name out for himself for being one of the best schools in California, pretty much. And he was one of my dad's top students. So, I mean, you touch so many lives, you make such an influence. Ever since I was a kid, people would ask me, even when I was in college, I changed my major 4 times when I was undergrad. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to do this. I wanted to be that. But in reality, all I really wanted to do, I realized, was to be helpful, to help people.
To help people.
Everyone's telling me, even my bio teacher was like, you got to be a doctor. He's like, dude, you're smart. You're intelligent as hell. I want you to be, you love sports, because I was a top-notch basketball player while I was fighting as well. He said, but I want you to be a sports medicine doctor, whatever. But in my opinion, I figured I'm going to go to school for 10 years and I'm going to lose 10 years of being able to help people, because I'm going to be in my books the whole time. So that's why I wanted to become a teacher and a coach. And, when you're teaching at school, it's different because you have some limitations, especially now with everything that's going on in the world. But when you're a coach in martial arts, you have free realm. A lot of parents will give you that kind of opportunity to have that autonomy and to have that independence to work with their kids. And you work with a lot of kids who are coming from single family households, who are foster children, who are adopted and whatnot, and they need a second voice in a sense, right?
100%.
So I put myself in that situation. I think it's so crucial for kids to have people like, us pretty much, and to have good coaches and to have good mentors, I think, right? Like the big brother kind of look.
Yeah. Just while you're saying that, I have Francisco Mansour, who's a red belt under Helio Gracie, was just here, and I was there, and this is exactly what he finished with: is I want you guys to remember one thing. You see those white belts in the back over there? Those are the important. Not the other ones are important, but they are the most important. You see those little kids there in the front? They're the most important.
Yep.
And that's exactly what you're touching in, is how important it is to touch these kids and to keep them there and keep them on the right path, and how much confidence and how many good things it instills with them. Amazing, brother. Yeah, amazing.
I mean, legacy, you hit it right on the dot. I mean, and Coach Mansour hit it on the dot too. See, like if you look at it, I'm a big history nerd. I read and study ancient antiquity, ancient history, tyrants, leaders, generals, emperors. There's one current theme that goes on through all of these people, whether they were good or bad. And I can name names, but you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It was that in order to control the future, you have to control the youth. And it's not even about control, but it's about influencing the youth. So
Correct.
Your coaches and you're right on the dot, and you're 100% accurate in that sense, because if you could touch these kids, if you could, help them emotionally, mentally, physically, into becoming better people, the society and humanity in general is a better person. So you throw in martial arts in there, and next thing you know, a community that follows martial arts and believes in martial arts is a healthy and bright community. So
100%.
I'm a big proponent of that. So for sure,
100%, bro. Amazing. So now, bro, I gotta have you back on. We gotta do one. Like today was a lot about your dad, but we gotta do one together. I love your mindset, bro, because I believe that like you said, a coach is so important, and I believe that God put us here for a reason, and at being a coach is you're doing God's work. We're all far from perfect, in my opinion. I know I'm not perfect.
100%.
I know I still make mistakes to this day, but what I do know is in my heart, the one thing that I do know is all I want to do with the rest of my life is help people and to be a good influence, and to be not that friend that's going to tell you to do something wrong, but the friend that's going to tell you to come on the mat because I know this is good for you. This is going to help you in the other aspects of your life. And if we can help people for the rest of our lives, I always say it, and I've said it many times, is when I do die, I would like to be buried in a gi. And the reason that I want to be buried again is because that's what I want to be remembered for my legacy, for the rest of my life, is that I was a good person and I was there to help people.
Absolutely. That's how I see it. I say, my dad created something, and how unfortunate would it be if one of his sons didn't continue his legacy?
That's amazing.
And then, to have kids in the future that will continue, our name, like I said, back in the old days, kings would want to have sons so they could continue the name and the kingdom and all that kind of stuff. I honestly, whether it's nerdy or not, I don't care. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
He created something, out of scratch, even, and like I said, he's so humble. Judo Gene LaBelle said he's a pioneer of grappling. Yeah. Grappling wouldn't exist. Submission grappling, for example, wouldn't exist if it wasn't for my dad.
Yep.
MMA and the Armenian community wouldn't exist if it wasn't for my dad. And the highest level promoters in the UFC and wherever you name it, PFL, that's the first thing they'll talk about when they mention my dad. So that's a legacy, and that's why I like the name so much, because there's so much truth to it, and meaning behind it. So it's that's how I see it too, for sure. So
I appreciate it, brother. I mean, I just want to say, guys, it's been an honor. And Arthur, we definitely got to talk more. You got some great,
For sure,
You got a great, you got a great mindset, and that's what it's all about. We need to have this out there. The people need to see where this martial arts that you guys are enjoying now, where it all came from, and what's the thought process behind it. And man, I'm honored. Thank you guys for driving down and spending some time with me.
Anytime, brother.
Whether you like to call yourself or not, you're an absolute legend. Thank you, sir. Gokor
Thank you very
Chivichyan.
much, buddy. Thank you very much. Yeah, we happy being here, buddy. I know we're gonna drive back with a lot of traffic, but we're gonna go and teach being in the studio. So Arthur has 7 o'clock class, but I don't know.
No, we'll make that one for sure. No, that's okay.
Arthur,
But-
real quick
brother.
before I let you guys go. Please let everybody know your dad's, if you know the Instagrams.
Yeah.
But I want both. I'm gonna put them in the description. You guys will be able to see everything on the description anyway. But just plug, if there's anyone you guys want to shout out,
sure, man.
or plug your academies and how people can get a hold of your dad and yourself on social media and all that.
So we have right now in the LA area we have 2 Hayastan MMA academies. There's one.
Hayastan is spelled.
It's Hayastan MMA Academy. So one in our headquarters in North Hollywood, big 16,000 square foot facility, and then the most recent one we have is in Northridge, and that's not as big, but it's a very nice facility. That's the one that I'm primarily running.
It will get bigger, my brother.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, the way I see it, like I said, like I mentioned, the importance of martial arts, and I incorporate so many life lessons and different things. And maybe another day we'll talk more about that.
For sure, bro. You got it. I already know that you're gonna have thousands of students. But
my mind works. It's running at all times. So
so those are the academies, and then your social media.
My social media account is actually one of my youth development businesses. It's called The Elite Institute. So just how I say
pretty simple.
The Elite Institute.
At The Elite Institute.
Yeah,
on Instagram.
and then his is at GOKOR CHIVICHYAN, and then the school one is Team Hayastan MMA.
Team Hayastan and
I could share all the
GOKOR.
words.
Yeah, and like I said, it'll be in the description.
Gokor.com.
At GOKOR.com, and GOKOR is spelled GOKOR.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Guys, it's been a real blessing. Thank you guys so much for making the drive.
Anytime.
Hope you guys like the show. Like, subscribe, tell your family. Peace. We'll see you on the next one.